Shekhar, there have been a bunch of announcements, some premature, like you were telling me earlier. The Bruce Lee film, you say too soon to talk about right now?
Yeah, too soon. That's always been my problem. That something gets announced and everybody gets very excited, and I keep saying, guys, we're not even finished the script yet. What are you talking about? You know, it's a little distant away. It's like we have to agree on a script.
Right.
Because my problem has always been that I'm very particular about a vision for a film.
Sure.
And it's not all that often that the visions
match, you're right.
Yeah, match. Often they collide. Because there's I will not accept a film till I have a fundamental vision. Like, then when I write a film like Pani has a fundamental vision. The fundamental vision is that, yes, there's a water shortage and everything, but the fundamental vision of Pani is that thirst has become a political weapon.
Correct.
That's what I started with.
Right. And that's a fascinating idea, yeah.
Thirst is a political weapon, no. Now what do you do? So then it becomes a huge, big thing. And it is a political weapon right now,
right.
Thirst. It will soon be a political weapon. Every shortage that happens becomes a political weapon in this world.
Is that a film you still are driven to make?
Completely. I mean, I have it's between me and Adi Chopra right now, sitting, and the day Adi says he's ready, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But immediately you're going off to do a musical, a live musical in Vienna.
Yeah, and it starts in a beautiful theater in Switzerland, which is one of its oldest theatres, called St. Gallen. And then it goes to Vienna. And it is a musical based on the first conquest of the Matterhorn.
Nice.
And it's in German.
Nice.
And I've never done musical theatre before. I've never done theatre before, and I don't speak German, so...
Right, many challenges rolled into one.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Shekhar, are you intrigued and curious and perhaps excited by the idea of coming back and making a movie in India? You've done incredible work. It almost seems like the landscape is right for your kind of cinema, for the vision that you have, the challenges that you like to pose, the questions that you like to ask. It feels like this is a good time.
It feels like it, but what kind of film? I mean, what film? Like, listen, there's two ways. I'm dying to come back and make a film in India. I'm just dying to come back and make a film in India. But everybody wants me to make Mr. India 2.
Right.
And I'm saying, well, I've done that, you know.
Yeah.
I can't repeat myself. I have to do something completely different. Something that I've never tried here or in India or in Europe or in the US. I have to find something that is off the land. And make that, and that's the only way it becomes relevant. Like Bandit Queen, when I did it, was off the land.
True.
It could not. It's not a story that could have been told anywhere else.
Right.
Right. Mr. India was a story of our land. It was like that invisible. I remember we used to talk about it. That's because at that time the government kept saying, "Oh, anything that went wrong with India was this invisible hand of some foreign agent."
Right.
So Mogambo became that foreign agent, you know.
Right.
So Masoom was a film of that moment of the middle class families not accepting as the son or not son. It was off the land.
Right.
It is of that culture. Pani is a film of our culture because whether you like it or not, 90% of India is water stressed.
Right.
So it's off our land. So if I come to India, I have to make a film off our land, that not bring my experience of the West to make a film in the West. It has to be for our people, of our people, and then it could travel internationally. But it has to belong there.
There, sure. It's been 24 years since Bandit Queen.
Yeah.
You recently tweeted, in fact, that it scares you. You watched it again and you said it scares you because you don't feel like you can better it.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind as you were watching it again? And did you kind of jog your memory back to just the battle that you had getting that film released, getting that film out there, the censor battle, really?
I wasn't thinking of the battle. I was thinking about the making of the film. You know, it was the one film that I made completely instinctively. Completely instinctively, even though later people made many, many assumptions about it. Because there was no pressure on it. I knew it would be in trouble, but I didn't care. I didn't care about a commercial release. The money I made it in for the people who funded it would have been recovered in one TV showing.
Wonderful.
So there was no pressure on that film. So I could just let my instincts flow And I remember, I can tell you an incident when I went to, when Seema, cast Seema, and Seema asked me all the professional questions
Right.
about the character, and I had no idea how to make the film. And I said, well, why don't you write a whole thing about it? You know,
A backstory,
directors will always
right.
do it, put it on the actor, and she did. And when I read it, it was really professional, really good, and I knew how to make the film. But what I did find out, I said, Seema, let's talk about something else. Now let's try and enclose our lives into 2 pages. It's not possible.
Right.
So that was a fundamental learning of Bandit Queen. Here was a character that was still alive, but what we do in film often is we take characters and create them into 1 page, 2 pages.
Right. Condense their lives.
Condense their lives, not their lives, but we can't condense our life.
Right.
Everything you say to me about me is true, and then I'll contradict it and say that's not true because something else is true constantly.
Sure.
So what I said to everybody in Bandit Queen was, listen, let's be honest. I will be honest, but let's be honest. What we used to do was talk about the scene again and again. We never used to rehearse a scene.
Right.
We used to rehearse around it, but talk about the scene. What is revenge? Did she really, when she went to her husband, she really revenge, or did she get raped again in her own mind?
Right.
What is guilt? What is, we talk about it. But at that moment, I would say to the actors, I'm good enough director to know if you're being honest or not.
Sure.
But I'm not asking you to be right. I'm asking you to be honest. And I'm not saying that you have to be, your honesty and my honesty is the same honesty. They could be different.
Sure.
But if you get all these honesties together, look at the vast amount of human patterns and behavior and psychology we are presenting to the audience.
Right.
But normally when we do a film, we've got it all down to a pat. This is what the character will do, that's how the character will interact, that's what the character will do.
Right.
Bandit Queen, I did not. I just let the characters emerge on the set.
Sure.
That's frightening.
Right.
That is frightening. I never try to tell the actor exactly what to do. I let them emerge. But we used to talk till 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and then go and shoot the film at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. That's what frightens me. Can I do that again?
Right. That is it conducive to that kind of working style?
Yeah, who will give me money to working style again? So, you know, that's one film in my lifetime that I can say that came completely emerged there in that moment.
How do you view the trouble that you had with the censors after, and do you feel like anything's changed?
Look, censor will always be a problem. You challenge the system, even subtly you challenge the system, of course the censor will be a problem, right? I don't think anything will change. I think what's happening is that the filmmakers have said, oh, they take censor as a whipping, as a whip. We fought for 2 years.
That's right.
2.5 years to get that film released. So because we absolutely 100% believed in what we were doing. And I'm saying, what I say to filmmakers is, if you absolutely 100% believe in what you're doing, absolutely believe that you are right, ultimately Bandit Queen, in our constitution, it says that pornography cannot be considered pornography as long as it's used for social good, then it's not pornography.
Right.
Pornography has to be something that you're just exploitative.
Sure.
And we won on that. There's all of that in our constitution. So I'm saying that if you believe in something, then fight for it. Fight. Don't let it go. I mean, if you don't believe, then let it go.
Right. But does it make you cynical that not a lot has changed, that it's still such a battle to make deeply personal, provocative political films in India?
I don't think it's a battle at all. You can make whatever you like. You don't have to get your script approved.
Right.
Right? I don't think it's a battle at all. The battle comes when you are real and deeply provocative and then you want to release it. That's the battle. But I think we should be. What else is art? How can you make a film that is so personal to you without something that, you know, all art is rebellion.
True.
You have to rebel against something.
Right.
So I'm saying that I don't see anything in the laws of India that stop you from making these films. There are places in the world you have to get a script approved, nothing.
Right.
The only thing that's stopping you from making the film is, can you get finance for it or not? But make it at a low budget.
Right.
Right? Then fight for it. That's my experience.
Sure. Shekhar, you've been very vocal about the furor around Padmavati and really the political furor around it. And in fact, you've said it's not even a political film. As someone who has also interpreted history with Elizabeth, how do you think we should view art and history?
History is always an interpretation.
Yeah.
When you go out today and said, I interviewed Shekhar Kapur and this is how it went, it'll be your interpretation.
Right.
And within 1 hour, your interpretation and my interpretation will be completely different. So 600 years, 700 years later, how can we think that our interpretations haven't changed? To me, history is only relevant. Elizabeth was relevant because I was telling the story of women today.
Right.
History is relevant if it is telling you something about your life today that could be game-changing, right? But on Padmavati, I'm saying that Sanjay Leela Bhansali made a film. He took, you can call it history, you can call it myth,
Right.
but he took that and he made what he thinks is what he's very good at, is making a beautiful, splendid, massive, epic film. How did he know that this would become a political film? But what is happening in India is that there is conflict in India. And India is a vastly, very fast-changing society. And all these structured lines are now getting into conflict with each other. So there are fractures in there. And now everybody is trying to find who they are and where every community stands. And in a country that's developing, changing so fast, that will happen. And it is happening. And it's just unfortunate for Sanjay that it just happened around his film. I think he's more shocked than anybody else, like what is going on?
Right. But it's interesting that you can not be cynical about it, having gone through it yourself and seeing how the landscape's changed. But
it changes.
Yeah.
I think I didn't go through in Bandit Queen.
Right.
I was asked by people saying, what do you want, her to become Prime Minister? Oh, I'm just telling a story.
Right. Right. Thank you, Shekhar. Thank you so much, and looking forward to you coming back and doing something back home in India.
Would love to.
Thank you. Fingers crossed. Thank you.